One on a beautiful start to our morning. It is Wednesday morning. It is the 13th of December. How are you? I'm first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week to chat about what's doing in the world of weather. And for us today, it is a little cloudy over top of us, isn't it? Here's a look outside on our Daytona Beach Tower cam, the network there showing the clouds, and that's playing out across all of Central Florida. Happy to report, though, that while we may be tracking plenty of cloud cover, what we are not tracking is plenty of rain. Our live first warning Doppler radar is nice and quiet. Temperatures out the door looking good. We're in the 50s for Ocala, 58 degrees back over to the villages. It's 62 in DeLand, about 66 New Smyrna Beach, 69 outside in Titusville. And the forecast today is looking pretty decent, right? Plenty of clouds over top, kind of where we're at right now. Still, it's VFR, so it's good to go flying, which is what I plan on doing today. I'm going to actually go for lunch with Alex Alisi. And then from there, temperatures are going to climb. It's going to be a nice and mild day. Notice bottom left corner, though, showing those winds. It's going to be another nice breezy day. 76 degrees or so, our high temperature on the day. And while we've got plenty of clouds, we may see a shower or two, but I'm not like overly concerned with showers today. It's not going to be a big washout or anything, but you can see on the satellite and radar, there's a lot of cloud cover, plenty of rain in South Florida, but notice you see those showers coming in around like Tampa, south of Orlando. Notice that on this. Now, this is a non-quality controlled radar image, whereas when we pop up our live radar, we don't see that. If I pop up the Melbourne radar, you don't see that except at a distance. You see where it's like I-75, there's rain. If we switch over to Tampa, it's not showing it, but it's showing it over in Melbourne. So what you're actually seeing is like Virgo or just moisture above that's not making it down to the surface. So that's not a concern. All right. So for now, lots of clouds. The radar is seeing in the distance some showers, but it's not a thing. Temperatures out the door this afternoon will warm. It's going to be lovely. Temperatures around our average high. 76 is the average high in Orlando. We'll be in that ballpark. About 71 degrees in Ocala, 73 in Daytona Beach, and 75 degrees for us in Titusville. Chris says, give Alex our greetings. He actually was like, should have had you come in the gate, and then I could have said hi to Coffee Talk. And I'm like, no, sir, we've got to do that on Friday. And honestly, with this kind of big weather thing that's happening, we may need to delay the Coffee Talk drive-through just because we've got some weather moving our direction. So, yeah, it is what it is. All right, so let's talk about things, okay? So we're looking good today. Let's look at our timeline because there is a weather event coming. First off, today and tomorrow, we're getting windy, which is it's a nice crosswind here at the Sanford Airport, so that'll be a lot of fun to deal with. And then looking ahead to Friday, storm system starts firing up in the Gulf of Mexico, and that storm system is going to get wet. It's going to really pick up some moisture, and all of that's going to be moving on in. Shauna says, so much hype on a couple of pages using graphic and making this appear to be a hurricane graphically. How serious is this? Oh, yeah, so we're going to get to that. Getting to that right now. Then this weekend, widespread rain and gusts. Now, Shauna's bringing up a good point. A, talking about hype, and B, talking about how this is graphically looking like a hurricane. A couple of important points to make here. When you look at storm systems are areas of low pressure, and a hurricane is just a really deep area of low pressure. But this thing this weekend does not really look like it's going to be a hurricane. What it does look like it's going to be is an area of low pressure. So this is what's going on the next couple of days. Attached to fronts is going to be an area of low pressure. Now, just looking at that, I could see how people would be like, oh gosh, that looks like a hurricane. It's not going to be a hurricane, but it is going to be a storm system. Okay. It has fronts attached, baroclinic low. It's not going to be a hurricane, but impacts are going to be felt. So first off, high surf, high seas, beach erosion, particularly on Sunday on the East Coast as this thing moves away from us, okay? For us, 25, 35 mile per hour. I mean, it's already going to be windy today and there's no storm system. So add the storm system over top of us, could be talking about gusts of 45 to 50 miles an hour. And then, depending on the exact positioning and motion of this area of low pressure, we could even be talking about the threat for some severe weather, okay? So it's not going to be a hurricane, and you know I absolutely hate hype. And I find that like my biggest job here is to control hype, to handle hype, to bog down hype. And look, the saying always goes that a lie makes it halfway, not a lie. In this case, I mean it's not a lie, but like in this case it's just exaggeration. But exaggeration makes it halfway around the world before the truth has a chance to get its shoes on. So, look, I've seen the usual suspects doing their usual thing, and this is going to be a significant storm system in that you don't normally get these kind of big storm systems this time of year going. So it is what it is. Okay. Florida's going to Florida, and this is the way that it kind of rolls. So let's talk about, first off, the bigger impacts here. Okay. We've got high surf advisories, coastal flood watches, rip currents, the whole 9 yards. The reason that this is a little more of note is because we're kind of in this El Nino type cycle. And during an El Nino year, you get the winds upstairs just a little bit higher. And because of that, the severe weather risk can go up. But again, it's a little too early to get into those specifics. One specific, though, that we can absolutely look at is the flood threat. Okay, so for Saturday, flooding is possible across central Florida. So yeah, we're going to be talking about rain. Now, how much rain, Priscilla's asking? Good, I'm glad you asked. So let me do this. Before we get too deep into like the weeds of things, let's just look at the different model perspectives, okay? It doesn't look like Kellyanne updated that. I don't know. Let me just preview this before. All right, so here's the kind of the model comparison, running the two models, the European and the GFS. Friday late night, that storm system starts going out in the Gulf of Mexico. All right. From there, we kind of start to watch that moisture lifting up. And through the day Saturday, you can see the GFS is putting soaking rains. The European is putting soaking rains in Florida. And I will also add that both of these model solutions have absolutely started dialing in together on this, okay? 9 p.m., pouring rains, both models. So what we're looking at, if I were to back this just a little bit, all right, 8 a.m., showers are increasing in coverage. So the best time on Saturday is going to be the morning, because pretty quickly there, the rains start lifting in, and it's going to continue for the afternoon and the evening. So I was telling my wife this morning, is like, all right, so we do have passes to go to the theme parks. We might either do the poncho thing and just grin and bear it, or we might just do like the indoor type activities. Haven't quite gotten to the point where we've got it figured out yet, but that's one of those things. Okay, so that's a look at Saturday. Watch through time. Saturday night, there's 5 a.m. Sunday morning. Both models showing a bunch of rain around. By about lunchtime on Sunday, notice showers on the GFS are starting to clear out. The European keeping us wet. And there's Sunday afternoon, both models keeping with rains around, and then both models are bringing it out. So what we end up with is basically two variations on a theme. Both models bringing a ton of rainfall to us. Just kind of depends on which one plays out exactly. So let's start off with the European model, and let's just look at the rains. See how there's just a few showers through Friday, but then boom, look at through Sunday. European going 2, 3, 4, 5 inches of rain. So obviously there's that. The GFS, I can find the darn thing. Of course, we've got this one, but we don't have the GFS. I give up. Why do we? Sometimes I just wonder why we do the things that we do in this WESH 2 weather department. All right, here. This is the rainfall comparison on both models. Let's just run it that way. So there you go. Both models are showing widespread regions with like 3 to 5 inches possible. So it's going to rain. That's kind of the takeaway, right? Like, it's going to rain. We know this to be true. Some very heavy rainfall. That's why the Weather Prediction Center has basically put out that threat, that idea that flooding's possible. Yeah, flooding's possible. In addition to that, we've got the gusty winds area wide, right? Like, look, this is pretty significant. Next couple of days, it's going to be gusty, which is going to be super fun for me to fly. Like, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to fly, tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. I got Alex. He's certainly a more accomplished pilot than I am today, so there's that. But this is also, we're going up in the morning. The afternoon may get a little rougher. So we'll see. But you can see gusts. Definitely some significant wind gusts here these next couple of days. All right. How's the water temperatures? Can it intensify like Mexico when this try? Yeah, it's not going to enter as a category 4 or anything like that. No. You're asking about the water temperatures. Give me a second. I don't have those products just at the ready, so I can do it. Give me 2 seconds. All right, so we'll do that one, and we will do this one. All right. So let's start off with sea surface temperature anomalies. What's the anomaly? It means compared to average, where are those sea surface temperatures? So obviously, give me a second. Oh, hold on. Of course, I hit the wrong button. Do that. Let me widen this perspective out. Get it loaded up. I'm pushing the computer. All right, so water temperatures out that way in the Gulf of Mexico are anomalously a little bit hotter than normal, right? Here's the actual water temperatures, okay? So in the loop current, we still have warm water, but over the rest of the Gulf of Mexico, it's negligible. And remember, when it comes down to it, water temperatures of 80 degrees Fahrenheit or above are what we need for tropical development. So is there that, could it have some sort of a subtropical element to it? It's possible, but this is not midsummer. There's a lot of wind shear upstairs. This is not like we're going to be getting this rapidly intensifying thing. So I don't want you to be overly concerned about that, freaking out about that sort of thing. It's just one of those things that we're going to have to kind of keep eyes on, right? Okay, so big rain's absolutely a concern for us the next couple of days. Now, as far as like temperatures and winds go, like here's the European model. Let's zoom in and look at the European model and how it plays with wind gusts. All right, so see, we're kind of gusting, there's gusting through 20, 30 miles an hour. Here's Thursday, some rains around, some gusty showers through Thursday. Remember, the European model, when you zoom in this tight, it's a lower resolution model because it goes out longer. Same thing with the GFS. All right, but watch that wall of water, right? Like there's Saturday, that rain lifting through, and notice the gusts 20 to 30 miles per hour. It's going to stay gusty just as it is right now. But it's going to be a kind of crummy day. Like look at lunchtime on Sunday. The Euro definitely going wetter Sunday than it was. 10, 20, 30, almost 40 mile per hour wind gusts. These winter storms, it's funny because people are always hung up on the term hurricane or hung up on the term tropical storm. But these winter storms like this can be equally impactful. They just don't have names because they're not tropical in nature. So, don't just write it off because it's not a hurricane, but also don't freak out because that's something that we definitely do not need to be dealing with. We don't need you freaking out, y'all. Okay? So, in summary, my friends, this is why I built this graphic yesterday, just as a nice quick doohickey. We got a kind of a crummy weekend ahead. That's what we're looking at. I wish I had better news for you. Got kind of a crummy weekend ahead. Yeah. All right. All right. Questions, comments, concerns. Asking about tornado probabilities. So one thing that we can do for tornadoes is, I'm just kind of, give me a second. Yeah, so one thing that we can do when we look at severe criteria is the Storm Prediction Center, who issues their advisories. They've not issued any kind of advisories for this. But another thing that we can do, let me dial this up real fast. Hit that. I'm just looking to see. Yeah, I mean, for right now, the models are not go. I'm just looking ahead. The models are not going. What today's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So it's gonna be like 3 and 4. Day 3. Pixels and contours. Nope. Day 4. So SIPS is a kind of a computer model that looks at guidance and tries to dial in severe criteria. And for right now, there's not a significant severe criteria with this. So we're looking. We're just kind of trying to dial it in. Yeah. No, it's not. It's not, Chris. I'm not going flying on Saturday anyway. But no, we're not flying the Ospreys. Thank you, Priscilla. Appreciate it. When you say hype, I see a lot of people just posting the graphics posted by the big weather reports. Is that considered hype? No. Hype is making these like heartfelt, like, I hope you're ready for this weekend. I hope that we are ready for a storm. That's hype. Y'all, we live in Florida. Like, it rains sometimes. It gets windy sometimes. Okay. That's hype. Posting information, I'm all about it. And I'll have you know, like, I'm friends with my competitors. It's not like I'm trying to call out people that work at other television stations or the weather service or hurricane. None of that. No. I'm friends with a lot of those guys and gals. But there are certain, I call them meteorologists. You know, there's just certain people that are like, I hope that you're ready for this. You mean make indoor plans? We okay here. You know, we have severe weather almost every afternoon during the summertime. We okay. We okay. So, you know, it is what it is. It'd be cool, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah, I mean, it would be cool, perhaps. Yeah. Yeah, Priscilla, exactly. As Dennis Phillips says, rule number 7. And if you don't know, now you know. Yeah, Mickey, those are the ingredients, and it's just going to kind of depend on where the warm front lifts and kind of where the instability is. If it passes by south of us, not a big concern. If it passes by just north of us, then there's some concern for it. So yeah, Betty says I think a lot of inflatable decor will be flying around. Yeah, I'm going to have to probably pull my inflatables in. So there's that. Yeah. Is it the person or their news director ownership that's the hype? Well, David, that's it. That could be it. That could be it. Should I board up the windows in the gingerbread house? Yes, exactly. Yeah. Put up the shutters on the gingerbread house. Be ready for it. Ay. Let's see here. I'm so excited for you and your lovely family off this week. I'm so excited to be off. I mean, I'll still probably end up doing coffee talk because it's gonna be a crummy weekend, but yeah, it is what it is. Yard work Friday morning and no. I mean, I think I'm doing yard work Friday morning. So you tell me. Like, I'm gonna be out there. Winds on shore all weekend. I want to surf, but not in a washing machine. Yeah. So Scott, that's the other thing, right? Because the winds are going to be turning through the weekend. So look, does this product not have the winds? How do we have a wind product without winds? Like what? Okay, the GFS model has, I need to turn them on the Euro. All right. So here's a look at the winds directions as well. Couple of coastal showers Thursday, a couple of coastal showers Friday. There's Saturday, the GFS showing all that moisture building with the onshore wind, right? Like very clearly getting wet through the afternoon. Like, you're not going to want to do it, and then through like Sunday morning, the winds turn more parallel. And then as the storm system itself kind of moves through, you can kind of see this backing wind. And then there's Sunday evening an offshore wind. So yeah, so the next couple of days, at least, you've got an onshore wind with a few coastal showers. All right. So let's dial in and just kind of eyeball the 7-day forecast here. Okay. Looking pretty good for us next couple of days. A couple of coastal showers. Even had a couple of coastal showers yesterday. Totally fine. That's the way it works. And then watching the rain chances going up bigly Saturday and Sunday. And then next week looking fantastic. Yeah. Love that for us. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it. Scott may have to surf in the Gulf. Said no one ever. How funny, right? Oh, man. I have a flight out of MCO at 10 a.m. Saturday morning. Should I be worried about cancellations? Eric, if it's just rain and gusty winds, should be all right. You know, I mean, they may go IFR and slow things down, but morning flights are always better than evening flights because the whole, snowball effect hasn't quite kicked in at that point. So I would say that. Yes, it definitely looks windy, Chris. We are looking windy next couple of days. Indeed. Yep. Do you think those launches will happen? Yeah, have to watch and see how that plays out. Is this a recycle of a storm system? It is. The first version of it seemingly was more of an East Coast thing, which tells me that this will be amplifying as it pulls away from us. But we'll have to see. This is one of those things. This is where we really study the cycling part of the weather pattern. Yeah. Supposed to do Night of Light St. Augustine at 6:45. Thinking of canceling. What day, Becky? If it's today, no reason to cancel. If it's this weekend, like if it's Saturday, may not have the best weather for it. What's going on over here? Jeannie's text. Hold on. The wife's texting. You know how this works. Let's see here. Okay, Becky, Saturday. Yeah, it's probably not going to be a good Night of Lights thing. Which, I'm kind of sad. I don't know. I'm kind of sad that I'm off, but for a crummy weather weekend. But at the same time, I haven't had a weekend off since in like 5 months. I haven't had a weekend off in 5 months. So I'm friggin' ready. Whatever the weather is, I don't even care. I don't even care. Do we need to borrow Rudolph from Santa to help the flights going? Yeah, exactly, Eric, right? It's going to be IFR, so they'll have to slow things down. They have to slow things down. So that's where we're at, friends. Kind of have a crummy weekend, which also stinks. I haven't gone in to look, but why do we have to have crummy weekend weather, Dang it. Helena says getting married in our backyard Saturday. No turning back now. Remember, Helena, rain on your wedding day is lucky. And honestly, let it pour. It'll be okay. What's important is the love. That's all that's important. That's the only thing that matters is the love. That's all that matters. Cindy, do we have the eye on the weekend before Christmas? Yeah, birthday shenanigans, rain or shine on the 23rd. Campeche! Stand by. At the moment, I'm just kind of focusing on the rain event this weekend. Yeah. We'll once this is done early next week, we can start looking ahead to Christmas. Yeah. So funny as your wife Jeannie texted my boss. Jeannie texted. Oh, that's too funny. That's too funny. Yeah, Beth, you deserve a weekend off. Thank you. One day I'll get all of the weekends off. One day. Brittany, I'm guessing the Twilight 5K in Claremont Saturday night probably isn't going to happen. If it's just rain and wind, I mean, theoretically they could do it. It's going to stink. James says Eric gets one weekend off. We get a perfect storm deal. I know, right? It's like that 93 superstorm. Hopefully it doesn't get that strong. Although, what's interesting, if we look at the long term, let's just take a minute and do travel for a second. So here's Saturday. All right. You can see it developing in the Gulf of Mexico Saturday. Here's Sunday. You can see it kind of deepening and spreading. Look at Monday, okay? It's a mess. And then Tuesday, axis is such that we could be getting some decent snow. Wednesday. Actually, that's today. So, but you get the idea. The Tuesday stuff is what it is. It is what it is, people. So, not that everybody lives at the beach or anything, but like look at the wave action Thursday, Friday with those onshore winds. So, like talking about surfing, like, yeah, it's going to get rough out there for sure. Weather alert weekend, it may be a first warning weather day, Saturday. We'll have to see how the severe weather plays out, the flooding risk plays out. We're watching it for sure. But we don't want to just do that stuff for nothing. So we want to make sure that it is what it is. Betty says, I'm so excited for the rain. We're on water restrictions and things are browning. I need to find a good book and some great holiday music. That sounds great. My only struggle with this kind of weather is the kids, because like they don't understand. They just don't understand. So what the heck are you going to do? You're just going to piss them off. Cool. It's not my ideal situation, but just is what it is. There you go. So there's the 7-day forecast. I loaded the one with the sponsorship. Hold on. I told you no sponsorships on the Coffee Talk if I can help it. There you go. There's the non-sponsored version. Boat ride Sunday. Should I bring an umbrella? I would say yes, if that's still a thing, because it's probably not. Yeah, Ailey's talking about the Cure Bowl on Saturday. I know. That's my big concern is the weather for it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Gotta run, dogs. Need to go out. All right, enjoy your day. Take them dancing in the rain on set. Yeah, we'll try and do something cutesy. Yeah, it'd be nice if our weekdays could storm. I know. Debbie says thanks. No sponsorship. Look, until I'll tell you this much though. If Wesh were to come to me and say like, hey, we'll put you Monday through Friday, but we need to sponsor Coffee Talk, you'll see sponsors so quick on this dang thing. Just being honest with you. But for now, we have not arranged that sort of thing. So there we are. Because as much as I love you, if I can have weekends off with my family, I'll almost sell myself. Everybody has a price. Remember that. Make the kids happy. Turn up the pool heater and swim in the rain. Yeah, that's not going to happen. But yeah, the pool's like 68. My litmus test is 80 degrees. If it's 80 degrees or above, I can keep the pool hot and do it. But like with high temperatures this weekend in the lower 70s, not going to do it. Wouldn't be prudent at this juncture. Laura says the hype I saw yesterday about this weather pattern on Facebook was insane. I would agree. On Twitter, also, like my feed follows. I feel like because like during hurricane season, I went to like a couple of these people's pages to see their chaos. Now it's like serving up all the hype, and I'm just like, oh my God, I can't even handle that. Chris, I'd like to sponsor Coffee Talk. Can I get change for my 5? I know, right? Yeah. I'm more expensive than that. Oh, it looks like Falcon Heavy has just been moved to a TBD status, so not tonight. So there you go. Bake cookies, play games, build a gingerbread house, make. Oh yeah, well we did cookies this week. We play games this week. Gingerbread house. Yeah, we'll do something. We'll do something. Maybe the Science Center, something like that. We'll figure it out. All right. Any other questions? Comments, concerns? Laura says, I used to do 16-hour shifts on Saturdays and Sundays. I remember working that last Sunday before going on maternity leave and starting our own business. I'll never forget crying tears of joy running out of that hospital. Laura, so when I started at Wesh, and I did this in West Palm, I did this for like 7 years total. I worked 2 20-hour days. I worked the morning and night Saturday, the morning and night Sunday. And at the beginning, when I was young, it was the best flipping shift you'd ever seen. At the end of the shift, at the end of that tenure, it was just the worst. Yeah. So there it is. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? No? Sound good? Going once? Going twice? Sold? Okay. Sounds good. I'm going to go fly, y'all. Sounds good. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. Enjoy these next couple of cloudy days with a few showers, but be ready for some crummy weekend weather. Sorry. All right. Be good, y'all. Take care. Bye.